there's a study in Canada. There's this thing called, I guess it's called Drummer Lab in one of the universities of Canada. I'm going to say Windsor, but where they have this lab and they study drummers and like the biomechanics of drumming. And there was she Dr. Nadia Azar is her name that's running this lab, and I've just spoken with her like on Instagram, but I don't really know her. But the stat is something like 60 over 60% of drummers had reported playing related injuries,
Wow.
and 50% or something had reported like more than one or something. So it's common. It's common, unfortunately. So I guess, I mean, just to add to maybe how to prevent it is, yes, we're getting older. We're playing this like instrument that's like, it's yeah, it's physical. There's like, we can relax more. That's something already discussed that would like possibly change things. But there's a lot of things that are related to uh, drumming that can be found in like the fitness world already, or the general rehab world already, obviously.
Yeah.
um, Posture, just having proper posture would be one, because when like the drums are all out in front of us, if you're just listening you're not going to see me, but I'm reaching out in front of me, and everything is pretty much, except for your China symbol back there, but like most of everything's like out in front. And that's not a natural thing really, to be like spending hours, if you're practicing hours a day or like in a studio for hours a day, like to be doing this thing where you're just using all these muscles in a certain way in front of you. And also, like, now I'm hunching, but like if you are hunching, that puts your shoulder, for example, in a compromised position, so that like by working to strengthen these things, it's not just like uh I don't know, it's not just because doing it. It's like there's reasons to consider, like, yeah, I want to strengthen my back. I want to improve my mobility, which is different than flexibility. Mobility is actually like having strength in the range that you're going to, as opposed to just being able to stretch that far, but like actually having strength in that range is important. And but I guess just any kind of like way you can get your heart rate going and move your joints, like, or your, let's say, your arms, in a way that you would move them before you play. So you could just do like big arm circles. Like, I get more into the weeds in the app thing, but just so it's, because it's kind of hard to if you're just listening, to show this, but like do big arm circles, do wrist circles, like these little things. If you go and you do them to like I'm saying like the end range, what I mean by that is like trying to make the biggest circle that you can make. Um, think about, like, if, for example, with your China, I don't know what happened that day, but like that might have been the first time that you reached in that particular way back to your right that day, or possibly like
Yeah.
per
Possibly.
month or something. Like
Yeah.
it's a non-natural position. So that's why voluntarily going into these positions gently at least like prepares the body to like be like, oh, okay, I might want to access that later. And then treating ourselves a bit like we're not athletes, we're musicians, but we're doing something that's athletic. And so treating it like that, and yeah, having a warm up. It's great you mentioned that, because that's super important. um you can do jumping jacks. You can just jump up and down. You can go for, like, I'm saying these things because often we do have these little, like, we don't always get the conference room as our dressing room. Sometimes it is like this small little place. And like, I think I always feel bad as a drummer anyway. Like, I'm always like, gotta be the most annoying person to warm up backstage. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like nothing is like, there's no way to like not be kind of annoying with it. But like, yeah, jumping up and down, like spending at least as much time getting your body moving as like practicing like some like rudiments, like kind of randomly, or just like, because that's what you think you should do. Like, and if I do actually think that you should, if you can, play on a practice pad before, but I think you could be smart about that too, and maybe do something like we talked about earlier, which is like be a bit more mindful about it. Again, you're training that motion, but you're also getting your mind ready to go out and play.
trouble.